Hello, and welcome to the second and only episode of Cooking with Kanoboy. In this episode, we are going to be making delicious pan-roasted chicken legs.
First thing you're going to do before you even start is you're going to set your oven and preheat it to 400 degrees.
Once you've done that, you should get out your chicken legs and unwrap them. Now, once you've got your chicken out, make sure to go wash your hands. This is because we are trying to avoid a thing known as cross-contamination, because basically all raw meat has bacteria on it, and that bacteria is very bad for you, and every time you touch it, if you then go touch something else in your kitchen, that bacteria will stay on that thing, and then every time you go touch it, you could essentially be taking the bacteria, and then if you go eat, you'll be putting the bacteria in your mouth. So every time you touch the chicken, make sure to go wash your hands afterwards. After the chicken is cooked, this is not a worry anymore, but until then it is, so there will be a lot of washing hands. I will cut through that because it's kind of boring to watch, but make sure to do that yourself. So once we have the chicken out, we are going to go ahead and salt it. I personally like using garlic salt because I'm a bit obsessed with garlic, as you might know from my first cooking video. But basically what you just want to do is you want to salt all four of them. Well, I have four. You can have as many chicken legs as you want. I usually like eating four of them because you can put them in the fridge afterwards and have them the next day. And then once you've salted it, essentially like push it in, kind of sort of massage. I know it's kind of weird to massage raw chicken, but go ahead and do that. And yeah, you can touch other raw chicken because it's already raw. But yeah, as you can see, I'm touching the chicken. I don't know if you can see the one over here, but I'm touching the chicken. So now I'm going to go wash my hands. But before I do that, I'm going to flip it over because I'm going to have to flip it over anyway, and I don't want to wash my hands twice because we are going to be salting the backside of the chicken just the same way. All right, once you've washed your hands yet again, you're going to take whatever salt you're using and season it on the backside. If you want to use other seasoning, that's fine too, but I've never put anything besides salt on it, and I find it tastes pretty good. If you want to follow the recipe exactly, it's Lawry's garlic salt. Not sponsored, but it's pretty good stuff. So yeah, then you're going to massage it again. Massage, weird word for it. I don't know, what do you want me to say? Press down on it? I mean, it is. Like, look what I'm doing. This is a massage. I am massaging this chicken leg. There's no excuses about it. Alright, so I have now fully gotten everything massaged. I'm going to wash my hands yet again, and then we'll go to the next step. Alright, I've moved the chicken to the oven and stove area because that's where the rest of the cooking in this video will take place. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to get a cast iron pan. The cast iron is so that the chicken doesn't stick to it. It's easier to clean. I don't really know how cast iron pans work that well, but I've never done it without a cast iron pan. I recommend making a cast iron. And I'm going to put it on the stove, and I'm going to heat it for about a minute or so. Let it get hot. Alright, using the power of poor editing skills, it's now a minute or so later. What you're going to do now is take oil. I recommend using canola oil instead of, say, olive oil, just because it requires a higher temperature before it burns. And you are going to put the canola oil into the pan. Now, it's important not to put too much in, or else it'll be too oily, but just a little. I might have put a bit too much there, but I don't think so. And then I'm just going to spread it around the pan. Put the chicken in a weird spot. I'm going to move that so I can spread it around the pan. And then I'm going to let it sit for another about minute or 2 minutes. Alright, so this part I'm going to have to do first take, so I hope nothing bad happens. But basically, you're going to take the chicken legs now and put them with the skin side down. That is, they should be flipped the same way you flipped them before with this part up. And put it in there. Now you may hear it sizzle a bit. That's normal. In fact, that's good. If it's not sizzling, that's a bit weird. Depending on how much oil you put in there, it'll sizzle a certain amount. You're also, if you have a fan above your oven, you're going to want to turn it on now, just so you don't, set up the smoke alarms. Which I might do, by the way, so that might be some entertaining things. If you just start hearing beeping around my house, that'll be fun. And once you do this, you're going to set a timer for 5 minutes, and you're going to let that timer go. But before I forget, because this part's important, you're going to want to take a grease pan and put it over this, so the grease doesn't fly over the stove, making it harder to clean up. If you don't have one of these, you can go without it, but it's just going to make it a bit of a pain cleaning up the stove top afterwards. Alright, so once your timer goes off, you're going to want to take off the grease pan, which isn't that hot yet, and you're going to want to flip this so that essentially you flip it so that the skin side is on the back, depending on how strong. Hang on, sorry, let me turn that down. It's a little too loud right now. Depending on how strong your stove is, it should be a light brown, somewhere, I don't know if you can see, it's a little more crispier. But you're going to be flipping the chicken legs. I'm not very good at grabbing them by the ends, but I try to do that anyway. But yeah. Alright, so once they're flipped, you're going to put this back on, and you're going to set your timer again, this time for just 2 minutes. Alright, once your 2-minute timer goes off again, you're going to turn off the heat this time. Get these if you want, probably. It's not as important this time, but you are going into a hot oven, so you're probably going to want some protection for your hands. You're going to open up the stove, which should hopefully already be at about 400 degrees. Why am I saying about? It should be at 400 degrees. If you didn't do that, then you're in a bit of a predicament. And you're going to put that in there, and you're going to close up. And this is where the waiting part begins, because now you are going to set a 30-minute timer. That's right, 30 minutes, and let it cook in there. And I will see you guys all in, I'm setting it right now, 30 minutes. While you're waiting for the chicken, you should probably make the rest of your dinner. For instance, I am going to make some delicious garlic bread, which you can see how to make in my previous Cooking with Kanoboy video. And a delicious lettuce salad, which honestly I'm probably not going to teach you how to cook lettuce because it's raw. But 30 minutes. Alright, it's 30 minutes later, everything's done. My tasty garlic bread has been made in under 10 minutes. It's time to take out the chicken. So it's going to be very, very hot, so we are definitely going to want to put on these. And we are going to take the chicken out. And put it on here. We are going to want to have a plate ready to go though, because it will still keep cooking while it's in there. So we are going to take off this top. Don't forget this is still hot. If you have one of these, you might often forget it's hot. I once burned my hand on it. Funny story, not that funny for me. Next what you're going to do is you're going to use like a temperature thermometer thingy-ma-watch-it that you stick it into the chicken. Make sure it's over 165. It almost always is. Sure enough, yeah, this one's 173, so it's ready to go. If it's not, put it back in the oven for like 5 more minutes. I've never encountered that though. It's always been above 165. Make sure though not to hit the bone, so don't go too deep because the bone will be much, much hotter and will give you a false read. Once you have done that and it's the right temperature, take some grabber thingies, hopefully different ones because again, don't forget cross-contamination, and take the chicken and put it on a plate because again, if, the skin is a bit loose, that's fine, because if you don't put on a plate, it will keep cooking in here and get a little too cooked. And there you go. Here we have 4, but you might have more or less, chicken legs ready to eat. As you can see, some are a little more crispier than others on the skin, but it's really just the skin. This one isn't that much more cooked inside than this one. I'm going to eat these now because they're best served hot. And if you're finished making them, I hope you enjoy your meal.